What's good, guys? I've got a trade recap for you here, and then we're also going to be talking a little bit about break-even trades. I feel like they don't ever get talked about. People always focus on wins and losses, but I don't really hear much about break-evens, and we're going to talk about why they can be kind of problematic. But first, I need to give you guys some context as to why they're important. I'm going to show you a little trade recap so you can see. So coming into the day, we kind of needed to establish a bit of a bias. I don't like to lock in and marry a bias too hard, but I want to have somewhat of an idea, obviously, of where the market's going on the higher time frame. You know, that's what we want to do as a continuation trader, is look at the higher time frame. We're only using the lower time frames to execute on a position, but we're based on the higher time frame. So in this case here, we had this new week opening gap, and the thing about this is, yes, it did get filled in terms of like it's got tapped into, but we want to see it get closed below on the higher time frame, like a hourly candle closure, maybe 4-hour candle closure below it. That has not yet happened, but honestly, after this fat sweep here, like overnight, boom, swept this, started rejecting higher. To me, it didn't really make sense for us to come back to this low or like down to these Trump like market dump lows. Like, I just didn't really want to see a short out of this, like after this fat sweep, big move up. I'm sure it'll come, but just not yet. I don't think today. I think it's going to have to like make some other movements first. That's what I thought coming into the market. So I marked out an hourly high above, and then a very prominent high time frame target was this 4-hour gap. So like as you can see, fat sweep there, started rejecting higher, and we were also starting to inverse this 4-hour gaps. And as well, one more thing, we had this hourly gap that had been created. So to me, it made sense, tap this gap, inverse that 4-hour that I was talking about, good targets above. Like, I feel like it was pretty obvious bullish bias for me. So with that knowledge, we'll come down to the lower time frame here, and we basically, like I said, wanted to see that hourly get tapped, so we have no more reason to believe we're coming lower, and then we just want to see some confirmation. So the first 5-minute candle made a move up, and I just wanted to wait for a move down to fill that hourly gap. So that's what this was here. This filled in that hourly gap, and we just wanted to see this move get rejected so that we could go ahead and take a long up to either of these highs. So here's the problem. We could have potentially longed off of this, right? Because we got a nice move up, rejection down into that hourly gap, pushed out, and then displacement back to the upside. But here's the problem with this entry. In terms of like just the way it looks, I feel like it's not too bad. But when you actually look at the point values, like 75 almost points of risk, it's not really about the risk. Like, I could have sized down to micros. It's not really the dollar amount that I'm worried about. But like on a 75 point stop, I'm probably just like not something I want to be a part of, because I feel like we're extended kind of high. I'd rather see like more of a retrace after this and then a little leg up, and we could put our stop loss below. Like, here, I'll draw it out for you so it makes more sense. Like a move like this, little leg down, and then a displacement back up. We could enter here, put the stop loss right below there, and then target up here. Something like that would make more sense to me, but in this case, I didn't want to enter too premature, so we did not enter yet. But we did get another candle back to the upside, which was here, and off of this kind of confirmed to me we didn't want to come back down into any of these gaps. We just wanted to come higher, so I entered off of this candle here, and I got my fill like somewhere in this wick, and I was mainly just targeting this, and I wanted like a 1-to-1 with my stop loss down at these body lows, and my TP was slightly above this for a nice like 1-to-1. I don't even know exactly where the fill was, but it was like right above this, something here. And then the reasonable break even point was right here for me. So as you'll see, playing one candle, we went break even on this trade, and then we barely got tapped out, as you can see, and it pushed all the way up. So now after this, I was kind of not mad. The old me would have been like super upset at this. Obviously, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. You know, I had a reasonable break-even point, took that, and that's all you can do. So after this, I thought maybe we still want to come up to that 4-hour gap. Still a great draw, in my opinion. So if we can get a retrace, we can target that, but we did not get any retrace. So after this point, I decided that there really wasn't another good target for me, right? If I come onto the 4-hour here, we have this gap that I don't really want to long through. Like, this is a massive 4-hour gap. As we talked about, there's not really a good lower target. In terms of the hourly, we had already come into this 1-hour gap, started rejecting out of it, right? So I imagine that we might start ping-ponging once we hit that 4-hour gap above. There's not really a good lower target, not really a great higher target. Like, this is a bit of a range. So I just decided that I should be done. Now, here's the little lesson that I wanted to get into. After taking this trade, Like I said, the old me would have been mad. First thing I want to say about break evens is I think that they are super frustrating at times because even though you're like just reducing your risk, I don't think people realize that sometimes they can be really problematic. By reducing your risk, sometimes you're just limiting your potential. If you take a good break even that's part of your system, good for you. Like in this case, it was good. But if you're just forcing break evens, if you're ever in a little bit of profit and you just go break even, yes, you're not risking any money, but the problem is a lot of the time you're just going to end up getting tagged out at break even. But if you're letting your trades always run to stop loss but then instantly going break even the second that you're winning a trade, you're never going to make any money because you're always either just breaking even or losing. And you might occasionally take a win if it's just booming your direction, but you're going to end up not probably having a good expected outcome overall. Now, second, in terms of like psychology with these break evens, I really never had problems taking losses. Like obviously at first everyone has a little bit of an issue, but I never really revenge traded. I was pretty good at just accepting these losses. And I think part of that attributes to the fact that when you're like learning how to trade, you know, a lot of you are probably like, if you're watching this video, obviously you're learning from YouTube, or if you're learning from somebody else, like you're seeing on social media, people always talk about how to take losses. Some people even talk about how to handle your wins, but no one talks about how to handle break evens. And I feel like you need to treat them the exact same way that you handle a loss or handle a win. A break-even trade is still a trade, even though your like balance zeroes out and it's not like negative or positive. It still is really important. I think a lot of people come into the day, like when you're learning to trade, you come into the day with this mentality, you either have to take a win or you're going to take a loss. With that mentality, you end up forcing trades because you might take a break-even trade and then knowing that you're break-even on the day, you still want to either get your win or get your loss. Obviously, you're not aiming for the loss, but you might stop after a loss. But a lot of people don't teach you to stop after a break-even. So I recommend treating your break-evens like they are a trade. Like a break-even is still a trade. You ended up taking a trade, even if you were correct on the direction or wrong or whatever. If you had a good reason to go break even, then you took your break even trade. Just move on to the next day. Don't force a trade. Like I said, so many people get into the mentality that they need to force another trade because their balance is at zero. Don't just force a trade. I feel like I see so many people, and especially for myself, I was having more issues with like revenge trading after break evens than revenge trading from losses. So hopefully you were able to learn something from this video. If you have any trading questions, comment them below, and I hope to see you in the next one.